Right now, how recent Wisconsin Supreme Court rulings will impact the Badger State moving forward. Also, heavy rains break a dam in northern Wisconsin. What's next for citizens in Manawa? And we're following some history lessons across southern Wisconsin, learn about downtown Middleton and about Madison nature. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. The Wisconsin Supreme Court dropped two big decisions Friday. The first allowing the use of drop boxes in upcoming elections, but the other decision, although confusing for some, is also important and could have a big impact on how policy is made and carried out in our state government. Braden Ross breaks it all down.
I'm just a bill.
You probably remember this guy. He's just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill until he finally becomes what he's always dreamed of being, a law.
Oh, yeah!
But that's not always the end of the story. Just ask Governor Tony Evers.
Instead of asking who has the authority to make law, it's equally important to ask who has the authority to prevent law.
That's called a veto.
You know, there are these things called veto points. For example, the presidential veto, the most famous, or the governor's veto. Court decisions are veto points. We give courts the power to strike, to veto effectively laws because they're unconstitutional. Bicameral legislation that has to pass both houses, that's a veto point.
In the Wisconsin Supreme Court's most recent decision, the veto point we're talking about is the ability of a legislative committee to hold back funding that's already been signed into law.
It's entirely possible that one of the most important veto points that's been used for highly partisan purposes in Wisconsin politics in the last 20 years or so, 15 years or so, will be taken away.
You see, last year, Evers secured funding in the legislature he wanted to use for conservation projects, but the 16-member Joint Finance Committee blocked him from spending it. This week, though, the Wisconsin Supreme Court found that move by the JFC to be unconstitutional based on the separation of powers clause.
That will affect people's lives in the sense that policies, laws, regulations will go forward much more smoothly, so to speak, with fewer opportunities to be derailed by a committee of the legislature.
That means now, once that bill sitting on Capitol Hill becomes a law, he could have an easier time getting stuff done. Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
Braden, thank you. Switching gears now, let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, out on the weather patio tonight. How does it feel out there?
Not too bad. The bugs are certainly out there bothering me on this Saturday night. But we've got fireworks going off and we got quiet conditions. So I know yesterday wasn't great when it came to weather, especially sky conditions to do any fireworks. Tonight is obviously the night. I can hear it quite clearly, all the fireworks going off. Over the next 12 hours, we're going to hang out in the 60s. We'll cool off just a little bit, but we're really going to stay quiet, actually, through most of your, not only Saturday overnight, but into early Sunday. It's starting later into Sunday morning, I would say no sooner than maybe 2, 3 o'clock, at least farther west, that we see the rain start to move on in, and that continues to move its way eastward. So folks in kind of central parts of the News 3 Now coverage area, kind of looking at Dane County, eastern parts of Greene County, Rock County, and farther east, we might not see any rain until 8, 9, maybe even as late as 10 o'clock on Sunday. So it is going to be a quiet night. We are going to be tracking that rain chance for your Sunday, and then the multiple rain chances into next week coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. Thank you. Now head on inside to avoid the bugs. But up in northern Wisconsin, police in Manawa, Wisconsin say the concern over a dam has been stabilized and evacuated residents are free to return home. The city's police chief gave an update on social media Friday evening saying the dam appears to be intact. Earlier in the day, the National Weather Service said it expected the dam to fail. The agency was forecasting major flooding downstream from Manawa Dam to Little Wolf River. Authorities had earlier urged residents living nearby to shelter in place, with others in imminent danger to evacuate. Officials continue to ask residents to drive carefully and avoid standing waters on the roads. Here's Manawa's police chief on the flooding and the dam.
As a consequence of a lot of erosion around the bridge, we ended up having to get a lot of people, emergency first responders, into the area to help evacuate. First it was motorists, and then as the erosion we became aware of it and it was getting worse, we had to start evacuating some of the homes.
The town had to cancel several events, including its parade and a rodeo, in response to the flooding. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office announced Friday Saturday. It is investigating a serious injury from a motorcycle crash that occurred on County Highway GI near North Cone Road in Lowell. The sheriff's office says the motorcycle was westbound when it failed to avoid a curve and crash. The motorcyclist, a 45-year-old man from Brandon, was not wearing a helmet and was ejected from the motorcycle. Prior to being flown from the scene with a serious head injury, the operator was placed under arrest for a misdemeanor OWI offense. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office announced again Saturday is investigating another motorcycle crash on Redwood Road near Jersey Road in Trenton. The Sheriff's Office says the involved motorcycle was traveling in a group when its speed was too high to avoid a curve, ejecting the operator, a 19-year-old Beaver Dam man, from the vehicle. The operator locked up the brakes and lost control of the motorcycle. The sheriff's office says the operator was wearing a helmet but sustained serious injuries. He was driven to the hospital before later being flown by helicopter to a trauma center. To an update now after Madison police arrest 2 people after a deadly crash on the city's north side Thursday morning. Police say the crash occurred on Packers Avenue at Tennyson Lane, where a car crashed into a tree and 2 occupants of the vehicle allegedly fled the scene. One driver of the vehicle was pinned inside the vehicle and died of his injuries. A 22-year-old male suspect and a 19-year-old female suspect were arrested and charged with operating motor vehicles without the owner's consent and resisting. Madison police are searching for a 75-year-old man who reportedly went missing from an assisted living facility Saturday afternoon. Police say Timothy James McIntyre left his assisted living facility Saturday. He was reportedly last seen between 11 a.m. and noon. Police say he left on foot utilizing a walker, and he is believed to have gained access to his black Chevy Malibu. It is unknown where he was headed. McIntyre is 5'9". He has brown eyes, gray hair, and is also balding with a short beard. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Madison Police Department at 608-255-2345. Residents take a walk down memory lane for the historic downtown Middleton Stroll and Tell. The event takes people around downtown learning the history of the city. Led by a former city administrator and Historical Society board member, people were able to get an in-depth teaching of the history of the place they call home.
I want to mention here, how many of you have been to the Village Green right over here? A few of you have. That was Middleton's first bowling alley. Now this site is known as now Stone Horse Green. It doesn't look like it was built in 1870. You'll notice that there is a kind of a boomtown look, a false facade on the building from 1870.
For more information on the city's history, you can find it on middletonhistory.org. And the history lessons didn't stop there. The first Saturday of every month, people show up to Tenney Park Beach for an opportunity to learn about the area's history and nature through a bird and nature adventure walk. Led by Sanford and Ali Penscover, adventurers went on a hike, seeing all the beauty from the park's birds and history.
Remember when we looked at the map before, those old maps, that this was all kind of marshy. Well, all of a sudden, in the new plan of the park, there's high ground, there's picnic grounds, places for people to play baseball. So, well, how do they get all that? How do they, you don't just get high ground out of nowhere. They got it from the lake.
Wisconsin is awarded $49 million in funding to advance the state's medicine and biohealth sector. Governor Evers' office says this allows Wisconsin's 15 public and private partners to expand on research and lab, improve collaboration, and enhance access to capital to start and grow businesses. The office also notes this will help create more jobs for the state. The Tech Hub is expected to create over 30,000 jobs in the personalized medicine sector and over 100,000 indirect jobs. And about $9 billion of economic development is projected within the first decade of the Tech Hub. Tonight, President Biden is vowing to remain in the race for the White House. He used a televised interview to reassure Democrats still nervous about his shaky debate performance. CBS's Natalie Brand is in Delaware with more.
A day before the president heads to battleground Pennsylvania, his campaign sent a top surrogate, California Governor Gavin Newsom.
So I really believe in the president, believe in his character, I believe in his competence and his capacity.
But Democrats are divided. Saturday, a 5th House member called for President Biden to step aside. Congresswoman Angie Craig, who represents a swing district in Minnesota, saying she doesn't believe the president can effectively campaign and win against Donald Trump. Illinois' Mike Quigley told CBS News the president's comments post-debate haven't allayed his concerns.
Now's the time to be candid with ourselves. I appreciate loyalty. This isn't about loyalty. This is pragmatic politics to avoid a second Trump term.
In an exclusive interview Friday with ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos, the president dismissed the criticism from some in his own party.
I convinced myself of two things. I'm the most qualified person to beat him, and I know how to get things done.
If you can be convinced that you cannot defeat Donald Trump, will you stand down?
Well, it depends if the Lord Almighty comes down and tells me that, I might do that.
His campaign is touting an aggressive next phase with more travel, interviews, and what they're calling off-the-cuff moments. But already, there's new controversy over two recent radio interviews in which questions were provided in advance.
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved them.
The Biden campaign, in a statement, said it didn't condition the interviews on acceptance of the questions. Sunday, President Biden returns to the campaign trail with events in Philadelphia and Harrisburg. This comes as a new Bloomberg Morning Consult poll shows the president trailing Trump by around 7 points in that key state. Trump has a more narrow polling lead across battleground states collectively. In Wilmington, Delaware, I'm Natalie Brand, CBS News.
And coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, severe weather continues to impact parts of the U.S. with Tropical Storm Beryl approaching the states. And meteorologist Blaise Keller is back with a complete look of your First Warn forecast.
I'm coming to you live from Wisconsin, where the Wisconsin Lottery's newest scratch game is taking over. Let me tell you, this is big. Are you getting this? It's Winning Streak, a brand new $10 scratch game. Match any of your numbers to winning numbers or reveal 3 identical numbers in a row. You could win up to $100,000. So cool. Now available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
Wondering what makes Wisconsin Dells the perfect summer getaway? Let's find out. Let's splash. Let's play. Let's try something completely new. Let's make sure we do this again next year. Hey, I'm working up an appetite. Let's eat. Need a guys' weekend? Let's do guy stuff. Need a girls' weekend? Let's go, girls. Need a family getaway? Let's have some together time. Wisconsin Dells. Let's make this the best vacation ever. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your trip to the water park capital of the world today.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's 4th of July sale is going on now, so celebrate and save with great summer deals throughout the store. Like men's work and sport pocket tees, $12.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. 36-pound bags of estate lawn fertilizer, $29.99. And select dog treats are on sale, 20% off. Plus, this Friday through Sunday, we're thanking all first responders and healthcare workers with an extra 10% off their entire purchase.
Find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. Our Constitution has given us more rights, freedoms, and prosperity than any country in history. Every 4th of July, we come together to celebrate those freedoms. But right now, we're a divided nation. We have to stop putting on the blue jersey or red jersey. Instead, put on the red, white, and blue jersey. Come together and get things done.
I'm proud to be an American. Fire up the grill and get brats and buns for just $1 this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Now that's a meal deal. Get Hy-Vee's famous brats for just $1. Choose from 12 flavors of brats for just $1 each. And get 8 Hy-Vee buns for just $1. Burger buns for just $1 too. And while you've got the grill going, throw on some mouth-watering burgers. Fresh ground chuck, only $3.98 a pound. Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
The nation's top call for action team is going strong at News 3 Now, with more than 160 cases closed and over $444,000 recovered. If you need help moving forward, call for action only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Along the Texas coast, preparations and some evacuations are underway for Tropical Storm Beryl. It could strengthen into a hurricane by the time it hits the U.S. Across the country, some 130 million people are threatened by dangerous weather, especially heat and humidity. Elise Preston reports from Los Angeles, and Jason Allen reports from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Blistering temperatures, high winds, and dry brush are all fueling the lake fire near Santa Barbara. It's one of more than 100 wildfires that erupted in California in the past 24 hours. The fast-moving flames have already burned about 12,000 acres. Crews are starting to get control of the French fire, which threatened to overtake a tourist spot near Yosemite National Park. At one point, nearly 1,100 people had to flee the flames.
Oh, I'm not ready to go yet.
Despite the oppressive weather, a girls' softball tournament got underway in LA. Tourists in the nation's capital also braved the relentless heat. And to handle the near triple-digit temps, Portland, Oregon opened more cooling centers. The intense heat isn't the only threat. CBS's Jason Allen is in Corpus Christi, Texas, where residents are readying for Tropical Storm Beryl.
Here on the Texas coast, the beaches, they're still packed. Everybody is trying to squeeze as much time as they can out of this long holiday weekend. But just off the beach, homeowners, businesses, they are getting ready. The Wingo family just bought this house earlier this year. This is the first time they've had to get ready for a storm like this.
Hurricanes, this is going to be a new one for me.
Texas emergency officials are telling people to finish their preparations by tomorrow, and for vacationers to figure out where they want to be well before the storm approaches.
Back in scorching California, first responders like Julie Whitney are working 72-hour shifts, dealing with a spike in calls for heat-related illnesses.
Is there anything surprising to you about the heat this summer?
I feel like it came on a lot faster.
Paramedics warn the heat is so intense it only takes about 15 minutes outside before you could start to feel sick with cramps, dizziness, or nausea. Elise Preston, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, we don't have to necessarily prep for the hurricane here, but that doesn't mean it won't impact us. Let's get a look at your first one forecast with Blaze Keller. Blaze?
That's right. Actually, Beryl's remnants are expected to move up into lower portions of the Ohio River Valley, putting us technically in the cone of uncertainty towards Thursday and Friday of next week. But it does look like a cold front is actually going to sweep a lot of the remnants of Beryl back into parts of, say, Ohio and further south and east. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of the rain, which is good because we certainly don't need any more here in Wisconsin. We stay dry today. We're dry right now as a weak high pressure system continues to sit over and at least controls at least some of our weather for now. But on the backside of it, southerly winds are going to take over starting later tonight, and we're going to move back in the cloud cover after we go into early Sunday, as well as that chance for rain. In the meantime, still sitting in the 60s and 70s across southern Wisconsin, maybe a little bit cooler in some spots out there. Middleton, you look to be the coolest spot within Dane County right now, sitting at 65 degrees. Southerly winds are going to remain light. We'll hang out in the 60s. And again, we're tracking that chance for rain mainly after midnight, especially along the Mississippi River, probably between 2 and 3, and then further into parts of Wisconsin by about maybe 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Future Track is going to paint that out for you. There's the rain moving into southwestern portions of Wisconsin between 2 and 3. That continues to push its way north and eastwards, kind of fizzling out around 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, but we remain cloudy, and then we're going to usher in more rain as we head into the second half of your Sunday, and we're going to continue to see the chance for scattered to isolated showers and thunderstorms, not only to end your holiday weekend, but as we go into next week as well. The bigger picture shows, again, that high pressure system moving on out, but we're not moving in a more organized low pressure system, so while we'll see the chance for showers and thunderstorms into Monday and Tuesday of next week, we're not anticipating, at least Monday and Tuesday, any severe weather with those thunderstorms, which is some good news. We don't need the rain, and we certainly don't need any more severe weather here across Wisconsin. Now, Beryl is expected to stay off to our south and east based on the latest data, so our rain chances and accumulated rain over the next 7 days is actually on the minimal side, where we start to see these teal colors and blues. That's anywhere between maybe a quarter of an inch to 3/4 of an inch at best over 7 days. So while we'll see these hit or miss chances, widespread heavy rain isn't necessarily in the forecast. But what is in the forecast, and you'll see it in the 10-day, is some heat. As we look towards the upcoming weekend, we're going to climb maybe back into those upper 80s, if not the low 90s, and that could extend even into the beyond of the upcoming weekend. So we'll take a look at that here in just a moment. But for your Sunday, we are anticipating 70s, southerly winds, maybe a few 80s as well. Mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Maybe some late day drying out. I wouldn't necessarily count on it though. So that heat that I was just talking about, it's set to return as we look into the upcoming weekend. That's why we climb into those upper 80s, if not the low 90s, but near daily rain chances all across the 10-day forecast. The good news is no alert days.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. And coming up in sports, a motivational night for the Madison Mallards. See if they could get the win. Next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
It should have been stopped. That's neglect of duty. As a sheriff, it's awful to watch police officers getting attacked. That's not supporting this badge and this uniform. I have no desire to work with somebody who divides. That's not what America is, but I work with anybody who unites. That's why I'm with President Joe Biden.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Blackberry Smoke. Live in concert. Be Right Here tour. Saturday, July 6th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Blackberry Smoke live.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and espresso beans and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and a whole lot more.com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com.
Don't burn up your money on high energy bills. Get new energy-efficient windows from Champion. Stay cool and save 35% off new Champion windows. Plus, get an extra $100 off every window. The more you buy, the more you save.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off this 4th of July. You'll also receive the Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will get free shipping.
Here's to sweet summer days together in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment. Here's to supper club celebrations. And to a lifetime of memories. Here's to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin.
My name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. And I live in a van down by the river.
It is Saturday night at the Duck Pond. Tonight, the Madison Mallards paid tribute to a Madison legend, Chris Farley. They're wearing these jerseys and auctioning them off after the game, with all the money going to the Chris Farley Foundation. We picked things up in the 5th inning, and at this point, they had not amounted to jack squat, losing 3-0, and that's when Augie Gutierrez says Lottie freaking da and sends one high into the night sky for a solo home run. But they knew they'd better keep those runs coming if they don't want to end up in a van down by the river. So they did. Later in the inning, runner on third is Sun Prairie native Davis Hamilton. And Hamilton comes home on a wild pitch. He heard Matt Foley loud and clear, but Lakeshore would go on to win it. 7-2 is your final. Staying at the Duck Pond, the Madison Nightmares played earlier in the day. It was a triple-header at Warner Park. They were trailing 8-4 entering the 7th of Game 1, and they came all the way back to win. Kayla Thomas finishes it off with a walk-off home run. Nightmares win Game 1, 9-8, and Thomas homered in the second game of the doubleheader as well, giving them yet another victory. Brewers out in L.A. playing a star-studded Dodgers team, but the Crew, they've got some stars of their own. The Brewers have 2 all-star starters for the first time in 10 years this year, William Contreras and this guy, Christian Yelich, who sends one to straightaway center and ties the ballgame up at 3 apiece. But then in the bottom of the 8th, when it comes to stars, there is levels to this. Dodgers now leading 4-3, and Shohei Ohtani hits a 430-foot rocket to right field. A solo homer made it 5-3. That score would hold, and the Dodgers hang on to win another one over the Crew. Down to Illinois for the 3rd round of the John Deere Classic, and this day belonged to Davis Thompson. The 25-year-old shot 9 under on the day with help from beautiful shots like this one on 12. He is 21 under for the weekend and enters tomorrow's final round looking for his first win on the PGA Tour. Giannis and Luka have taken over the NBA in the last couple years, and this morning, 2 of the league's biggest stars competed on a different stage. The Olympic qualifier semifinals. The winner would be 1 trip away or 1 win away from a trip to Paris, and the loser goes home. You knew Luka Doncic was going to get his. Hits this 3 over the Greek Freak, but even still, in the 3rd, Greece led by double digits. And then in the 4th quarter, Greece up 19, and Giannis puts the finishing touches on it through contact. Greece wins it in a blowout, 98-68. They advance to play Ivica Zubac and Croatia in the finals, all but locking up their ticket to the Paris Olympics. But once they get to Paris, I'm not so sure that anyone is stopping Team USA. Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, and Joel Embiid among the USA stars making their Olympic debut, while LeBron makes his Olympic return. Even if they won gold last time around, they've still got a whole lot to prove in Paris. And there isn't a whole lot of history left to be made for Caitlin Clark, but today she found room. Not only did she lead her Indiana Fever to a massive comeback victory over the New York Liberty, handing them their 4th loss of the season, but she scored 19 points, dished 13 assists, and grabbed 12 rebounds, collecting the first rookie triple-double in WNBA history. I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel a little weird wearing this, but you know, it fits the vibe, a fun, motivational night in Madison, doing it for Chris Farley, and really well done by the Mallards. A fun night.
Absolutely. I'm happy that they were able to do that, and it's just a cool way to have some more fun.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the jersey. I don't know how well you can see it, but they've got a little kind of what's it called? Emoji? Yeah, of Chris Farley, I guess. And you said it to me earlier. It's not that weird because I am still wearing a tie.
Tie, collar.
A dress shirt up here. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I guess I could just wear this every night.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, but at least tonight. Yeah,
we're good.
For sure.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Andrew. A final check of your first one forecast is coming up when we return.
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Jeep Grand Cherokee and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Did you see Trump last night? I mean it sincerely. Most lies told in a single debate. He lied about the great economy he created. He lied about the pandemic he botched. And then, his biggest lie, he lied about how he had nothing to do with the insurrection of January 6th. We all saw with our own eyes.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
We saw police being attacked, the Capitol being ransacked. He did not a single thing to stop it, nothing. Folks, I know I'm not a young man, but I know how to do this job. I know right from wrong. I know how to tell the truth. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Shopping online for a Purple mattress? We get it. With Purple's unique Gel Flex grid and multiple foam layers, you'll experience effortless sleep that's motion adaptive, temperature balanced, pressure relieving, and ultra supportive. But which Purple mattress is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. Let our expert sales staff guide you to your perfect Purple. And rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Purple at Denver Mattress, the easiest way to find your perfect Purple.
It's going to be another sizzling hot summer. Don't burn up your money on high energy bills. Get new energy efficient windows from Champion.
We have saved 25 to 30% on our energy bill since installing the windows, which blew my mind.
Stay cool and save 35% off new Champion windows. Plus, get an extra $100 off every window. The more you buy, the more you save. Save 35% off your new Champion windows and $100 off every window you buy.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
How much I weigh is nobody's business.
But Eric Hovde wants to make it his.
Eric Hovde thinks that if you're overweight, insurance companies should charge you more.
There should be consequences to those personal choices. Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
Hovde would increase health care costs for 1 out of every 3 people in Wisconsin.
Eric Hovde, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, and you'll have a chance to win a new Jeep Grand Cherokee and a shot at $100,000 in cash. It's the Mega Jackpot Winners Quarterly Drawings going on now at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now, weekend mornings, moving forward.
All right, Blaze, thankfully it was another quiet day before things might ramp back up, but what should they expect at home?
You're welcome. We are going to be sitting in the 70s tomorrow, maybe some low 80s, showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, maybe some peaks of sunshine and possibly some dry time there in the afternoon, but I think we're going to see kind of on and off shower and thunderstorm threats, not only Sunday, but all throughout next week. And then the upcoming weekend, we turn on the heat and dry out, upper 80s to low 90s starting Saturday.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.